A fox finds something. Not food, not prey, something more fundamental. A fox finds a place where the danger is minimal, a place where the shelter is adequate, a place where the survival is possible, a place where the being can rest. A fox finds a safe place. And something happens next that reveals something profound about what safety means to a wild animal and what it means to all of us. The fox makes a decision. The fox decides to stay. The fox decides to return. The fox decides to commit. The fox decides to call this place home. But this is not a casual decision made once and forgotten. This is a commitment that will shape the fox's entire existence. This is a choice that will determine the fox's life pattern. This is a settling that will define the fox's being. When a fox finds a safe place and decides to commit to that place, the fox undergoes a transformation. The fox becomes attached. The fox becomes bonded. The fox becomes someone who belongs to a location and to whom the location belongs. Tonight you are going to understand what foxes do when they find a safe place, and you are going to recognize that the fox's settling is not just about survival. The fox's settling is about belonging. The fox's settling is about home. The fox's settling is about finding a place in the world where the being can be itself and be safe while being itself. Welcome back to Hidden Backyard Wildlife, the channel where we sit with the small wild lives that share our yards and try to understand what they understand about the world. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe before this video is over, because what you are about to learn is going to change the way you understand foxes, because you will finally understand that foxes do not wander randomly through the world. Foxes make conscious decisions about where to live. Foxes commit to places. Foxes belong to locations. Today we are walking through 8 things foxes do when they find a safe place. What each of those things reveals about fox decision-making and commitment behavior. What researchers have discovered about site fidelity in canids, and why a fox that has found a safe place will return to that place again and again throughout its life, because the place has become home. Stay with me from beginning to end, because revelation number 6 is the one that explains the neurobiological basis of place attachment in foxes. And revelation number 8 is the one that will make you understand that when a fox finds a safe place and settles, the fox is answering one of the most fundamental needs of any being: the need for home, the need for belonging, the need for a place to be. The settling is real, the commitment is genuine, the home finding is transformative. The first thing that happens when a fox finds a safe place is simple. The fox recognizes it. The fox is moving through the world. The fox is exploring. The fox is assessing various locations for their suitability. Then the fox discovers something. The fox finds a location that is adequate. The location has shelter. The location has cover. The location has protection from elements and from predators and from human threats. The recognition of safety is crucial. The fox must assess whether the location is safe enough. The fox must evaluate the shelter quality. The fox must determine whether the location meets minimum survival requirements. The assessment is not simple. The fox must consider multiple factors. The fox must evaluate visibility, whether the fox can see threats coming. The fox must evaluate accessibility, whether the fox can reach the location quickly. The fox must evaluate shelter quality, whether the location provides adequate protection. The fox must evaluate proximity to resources. The fox must assess whether food sources are near. The fox must determine whether water is accessible. The fox must consider the location in relation to the fox's known territory and hunting grounds. The assessment involves memory. The fox may recall past locations. The fox may compare this location to others. The fox may recognize this location as familiar or novel. The assessment involves instinct or learned preference. The fox may know what features make a location safe. The fox may be drawn to certain types of shelter. The fox may recognize safety indicators. The recognition of a safe location is a moment of relief. The fox has found something adequate. The immediate pressure to find shelter is reduced. The possibility of settling becomes available. The recognition is the beginning. The fox has identified a potential home. The decision to actually settle has not yet been made, but the possibility has been recognized. Researchers studying fox habitat selection have found that foxes actively assess locations for suitability, with foxes showing evidence of evaluating shelter quality, resource proximity, and safety factors when selecting habitat, indicating sophisticated habitat assessment ability. The location is discovered, the safety is recognized, the potential is identified. Once the fox discovers a potentially safe location, the fox does not immediately settle. The fox tests. The fox approaches the location cautiously. The fox checks for dangers. The fox verifies that the location is actually safe. The testing involves exploration. The fox may enter the shelter partially. The fox may retreat and re-enter. The fox may scout the area around the location. The fox may verify escape routes. The testing involves sensory verification. The fox uses smell to assess what other animals use the location. The fox uses hearing to assess what sounds come from the location. The fox uses sight to assess what visibility exists from the location. The testing involves risk assessment. The fox must balance the need for verification with the risk of exposure. The fox may approach from multiple angles. The fox may test at different times of day or night. The testing may happen over multiple visits. The fox may return to the location multiple times before committing. Each visit adds more information. Each visit increases confidence. The testing also serves another function. It allows the location to become known. Familiarity increases through repeated exposure. The location becomes less frightening through familiarity. The location becomes more home-like through knowing. The behavior resembles what humans do when selecting a home. Humans visit multiple times. Humans test the space. Humans imagine living there. Humans verify that the space meets needs. The fox's testing is parallel. The fox is verifying. The fox is imagining. The fox is deciding whether this location can become home. Some locations pass the test. The fox determines that the location is adequate. The fox decides to commit. Other locations fail the test. The fox determines that the location is not adequate. The fox moves on. The fox continues searching. The testing behavior shows that the fox is not acting purely on instinct. The fox is evaluating. The fox is deciding. The fox is making a choice. Researchers studying fox behavior have found evidence of testing and verification behavior, with foxes showing exploratory behavior and repeated visitation patterns to potential den sites before selecting them, indicating that foxes actively verify locations before committing. The location is tested, the safety is verified, the commitment becomes possible. Once the fox determines that a location is safe and suitable, the fox begins to establish routines. The fox develops patterns. The fox creates regularities. The fox establishes when to visit the location, where to rest, when to emerge, where to forage from the location as a base. The routines may include daily emergence times. The fox may emerge at the same time most evenings. The fox may return at the same time most mornings. The pattern becomes regular. The routines may include movement patterns. The fox may take the same routes from the shelter. The fox may visit the same foraging locations repeatedly. The fox may establish regular pathways. The routines may include activity patterns. The fox may rest at certain times. The fox may hunt at certain times. The fox may communicate at certain times. The pattern becomes structured. The establishment of routines serves multiple functions. The routines create efficiency. The fox knows what comes next. The fox can anticipate. The fox can prepare. The routines create safety. The known pattern is safer than unknown territory. The established routes are safer than exploring. The familiar location is safer than novel exploration. The routines create identity. The fox becomes the fox that does these things at these times in this place. The routines define the fox's existence. The routines make the fox someone. The routines also make the place into home. Home is not just a physical location. Home is a location with patterns. Home is a location with routines. Home is a location where the resident knows what to expect. An animal in a safe location with established routines is an animal that has begun to settle. The commitment is strengthening. The location is becoming more than just a shelter. The location is becoming home. The patterns may persist for weeks or months or even years. The fox may return to the same location season after season. The routines may be maintained and adjusted but not abandoned. Researchers studying fox behavior have found evidence of routine establishment at den sites, with foxes showing consistent activity patterns, predictable emergence times, and established movement routes around their chosen refuges, indicating that foxes structure their lives around their chosen locations. The routines are established, the patterns define life, the settlement deepens. As the fox commits to a location, the fox begins to claim it. The fox marks the territory. The marking is not aggressive. The marking is ownership. The marking is declaration. The marking happens through scent. The fox rubs against objects. The fox leaves urine marks. The fox deposits feces at specific locations. The marks communicate, "This is my place." The marking is an olfactory signature. The fox's distinctive scent is left. Other foxes can read the mark. The mark communicates ownership. The mark communicates occupancy. The mark communicates, "Do not intrude." The marking also serves communication with the fox herself. The fox's own scent serves as territorial confirmation. The fox recognizes her scent. The fox recognizes her ownership. The marking happens at the periphery of the territory. The marks create a boundary. The boundary communicates, "This is the claimed area." The marking also happens within the territory. The marks communicate that the territory is occupied and defended. The marks communicate that resources within the territory are claimed. The marking may happen more frequently during certain seasons. The marking may intensify if competitors appear. The marking establishes and reinforces the claim. The behavior resembles what humans do when moving into a new home. Humans arrange objects. Humans decorate. Humans add personal items. Humans transform the space to mark it as theirs. The fox's marking is the fox's equivalent. The fox is declaring ownership. The fox is making the location bear her signature. The fox is transforming a shelter into a claimed territory. The act of marking the territory is an act of commitment. The fox is not just visiting. The fox is claiming. The fox is saying, "This is mine." The territory marked by the fox becomes more defensible. The fox has invested effort. The fox has invested identity. The fox has invested claiming behavior. Other foxes encountering the marks will recognize that the territory is occupied. Other foxes may move on rather than challenge the claim. The marking behavior has created a kind of social enforcement. The marking is real behavior with real consequences. The territory has become claimed. The place has become the fox's place. Researchers studying fox territorial behavior have found evidence of scent marking at den sites and territory boundaries, with foxes showing marking behavior that serves to communicate occupancy and establish territorial boundaries, indicating that foxes actively claim and defend their chosen locations. The territory is marked, the place is claimed, the ownership is declared. The most striking behavior of a fox that has found a safe place is that the fox returns. The fox could wander, The fox could explore. The fox could test other locations. The fox could keep searching for something better. But the fox does not do these things. The fox returns to the chosen location. The fox returns despite alternatives. The fox passes by other shelters. The fox passes by other locations that might be adequate. The fox chooses to return to her place. The returning is not forced. The fox is free to wander. The fox is not trapped. The fox is choosing. The returning happens day after day. The fox goes out to hunt. The fox returns. The fox goes out to explore. The fox returns. The fox goes out for other reasons. The fox returns. The returning becomes habitual. The pattern becomes so regular that the return seems automatic. But the return is a choice that has become habitual. The commitment that was decided has become embodied in behavior. The returning persists through challenges. If danger threatens the location, the fox may move. But if the location remains safe, the fox remains faithful. The returning persists through seasons. The fox may not use the location as heavily in some seasons, but the fox maintains connection. The fox may return periodically even when not using it as primary shelter. The returning persists across years. A fox may return to the same location for many years. A den site may be used by the same fox across multiple years. The commitment spans time. The behavior reveals something profound. The fox is choosing commitment. The fox has evaluated the location. The fox has decided it is good enough. The fox has decided to stay. This is not the behavior of an animal acting purely on instinct. An instinctual animal might search endlessly for the perfect location. A deciding animal might choose adequacy and commit. The fox's returning reveals that the fox understands something about settlement. The fox understands that perfect is not available. The fox understands that adequate is enough. The fox understands that commitment to one place is better than endless searching for something better. The fox's loyalty to the place reveals something about how the fox's mind works. The fox has values. The fox prioritizes. The fox commits. Researchers studying site fidelity in foxes have found that foxes show strong attachment to chosen den sites, with foxes returning to the same locations year after year, despite available alternatives, indicating that foxes make committed choices about where to live and maintain fidelity to those choices. The returns are consistent, the choice is demonstrated, the commitment is real. This is the revelation that explains the neurobiology of place attachment in foxes, and it is the moment when you understand that the fox's settling behavior is not just behavioral. The fox's brain is being physically transformed by the experience of finding home. Attachment to place involves neurochemical changes. Research has identified neural structures and chemical systems involved in place attachment and belonging in mammals. When a fox establishes a place as home, the fox's brain releases neurochemicals associated with safety and belonging. Oxytocin may be involved in bonding to place. Dopamine may be involved in the reward of familiar location. Serotonin may be involved in contentment. The neurochemicals create positive associations with the location. The location becomes neurologically marked as safe. The location becomes neurologically marked as good. The location becomes neurologically marked as home. The neural structures involved in memory become engaged. The hippocampus, involved in spatial memory, creates neural maps of the location. The amygdala, involved in emotion and fear, recalibrates to mark the location as safe. The prefrontal cortex, involved in decision-making, encodes the commitment. The brain's reward system becomes engaged. Returning to the location may trigger reward responses. The neurochemistry of reward reinforces the returning behavior. The commitment becomes reinforced neurologically. The neural activation happens repeatedly. Each time the fox returns, the neural pathways are activated. Each activation strengthens the pathways. The neural commitment deepens. The attachment to place becomes neurologically encoded. The location is not just an idea or a memory. The location is wired into the fox's brain. The place exists as neural structure. The neurochemical changes may persist even if the fox leaves the location. The neural encoding of place may be permanent or semi-permanent. The attachment may persist even after separation. This explains why foxes show such strong attachment to places. The attachment is not just psychological. The attachment is neurological. The attachment is embodied in the fox's brain. This reveals something profound. Belonging is not metaphorical. Belonging involves real neurochemical changes. Belonging involves real neural structures. The experience of belonging changes the brain. The fox's brain is transformed by finding home. The experience of settling is an experience that rewires neural systems. The commitment is embodied in neurochemistry and neural structure. Researchers studying neurobiology of attachment in animals have found neural and neurochemical bases for place attachment, with research indicating that attachment to location involves dopamine, oxytocin, and other neurochemical systems, suggesting that belonging has a neurobiological foundation in animal brains. The brain is transformed, the place is encoded, the belonging is real. The fox's loyalty to the place is remarkable. The fox will defend the place. If threatened, the fox will stand and fight rather than flee. The fox will protect the location. The location has become worth protecting. The fox will return to the place even after long absences. The fox may hunt far from the location, but the fox returns. The location is home base. The location is the center point. The fox will remain at the location even when conditions deteriorate somewhat. The fox will not abandon the location at the first sign of difficulty. The fox will persist. The fox will prefer the location over other available locations. The fox will choose the known home over the unknown shelter. The fox will choose the familiar place over the novel place. The loyalty is expressed through behavior, the frequency of return, the duration of stay, the investment of energy in maintaining the location and territory. The loyalty is not explained by practical necessity alone. There may be other locations that are equally adequate. There may be other locations that are equally safe, but the fox prefers the chosen place. The loyalty is based on familiarity and attachment. The known place has become preferred. The familiar location has become valued. The loyalty resembles human loyalty to place. Humans often prefer their home neighborhood even if other neighborhoods might be more advantageous. Humans return to home even when distant. Humans defend their home territory. The fox's loyalty reveals that the fox has emotional attachment to place. The fox does not just use the location. The fox values the location. The fox is loyal to the location. The loyalty may be rooted in neurochemistry. The place has become associated with safety and reward. The place has become neurologically marked as good. The loyalty is expression of neurochemical preference. But the loyalty is more than neurochemistry. The loyalty is expression of choice. The fox could move on. The fox chooses to stay. The loyalty is expression of commitment. The fox has decided that this place is worth maintaining connection to. The fox has invested in the place. The fox values the place. Researchers studying fox territorial behavior have documented strong site fidelity, with foxes showing persistent return to chosen locations, defensive behavior toward intruders, and preference for known locations over available alternatives, indicating strong emotional and behavioral attachment to place. The loyalty is demonstrated, the fidelity is maintained, the commitment is expressed. And this is the revelation that explains the deepest significance of the fox settling behavior. The fox has found home. And in finding home, the the fox has solved one of the most fundamental problems of existence. To be alive is to be displaced. To be born is to be cast into an indifferent world. To exist is to need shelter, safety, survival. To live is to confront the question, where do I belong? The fox confronts this question. The fox wanders, the fox explores, the fox searches. And then the fox finds something. The fox finds a place where life is possible. The fox finds a location where survival is achievable. The fox finds a shelter where safety can exist. The fox makes a decision. The fox commits. The fox settles. And in settling, the fox solves the problem. The fox has found home. Home is not just a location. Home is a place where the being can exist and be protected while existing. Home is a place where the being can create patterns and routines. Home is a place where the being is known and where the being knows. Home is a place where the being belongs, not through force or obligation, but through choice and commitment. The fox chooses this place. The fox commits to this place. The fox becomes someone who belongs to this place, and this place becomes someone who belongs to the fox. Home is a fundamental need. Every being needs somewhere to belong. Every being needs a place where it can rest safely. Every being needs a location it can call its own. The fox's finding of home is profound because it reveals that belonging is not just a human need. Belonging is a universal need of living beings. Belonging is expressed across species. When the fox finds a place and commits to it and returns repeatedly, and marks it as hers and defends it and remains loyal to it, the fox is expressing the same need that humans express when they find a home and plant roots and build community and create belonging. The fox's home is smaller than human home. The fox's commitment is expressed differently, but the meaning is the same. The fox has found a place in the world. The fox has found where she belongs. This is the profound significance. The fox teaches us about belonging. The fox shows us what it means to find home. When you see a fox returning to the same location repeatedly, you are not just seeing animal behavior. You are witnessing the fulfillment of a fundamental need. You are witnessing a being finding its place in the world. The fox has committed, the fox has settled, the fox has found home. And in finding home, the fox has found something that every being seeks, a place to be, a place that is safe, a place that is mine, a place that is home. Before I go, I want to ask you something, and I want you to answer in the comments below. Have you ever observed a fox or other wild animal returning repeatedly to the same location? Have you noticed a fox den or resting place being used consistently? Have you witnessed an animal's loyalty to a place? Tell me about it. Where did you observe the fox? How many times did you see it return? How long did it use the location? What was your sense of what the location meant to the fox? The stories this hidden backyard wildlife community shares are some of the most moving I read every week. And every single one of them matters, because every single one of them is a story about belonging, about finding home, about a being finding its place in the world. If anything in this video changed the way you understand foxes, if it changed what you see when you observe a fox returning to the same location, share it with someone who would understand. Sometimes the right perspective at the right moment changes not just what we notice but what we recognize about the world, that other beings belong. Other beings find home. Other beings know what it means to settle. Thank you for being here at Hidden Backyard Wildlife. The next time you see a fox at a familiar location, pause. Recognize that you are witnessing something significant. Recognize that the fox has made a choice. Recognize that the fox has found home. The fox's settlement is its answer to the question, where do I belong? The fox's returning is its expression of commitment. The fox's loyalty is its declaration, this is my place. This is where I am home. We all seek this. We all need to find a place where we belong. We all need to settle somewhere and call it home. The fox's settling teaches us this. The fox's commitment shows us this. The fox's finding of home reminds us that belonging is fundamental. Belonging is necessary. Belonging is the answer to being. The fox has found home. In finding home, the fox shows us what home means. I will see you in the next one.